Hello there, good morning, and greetings, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here running this series we've been running for the month of April, which is my 30 favorite rock bands that have a prog influence in them. And this is day number 15. No doubt this band had to be on this list. I'm sure some people think it should be higher on the list. Depends on where you come in on these guys too. Like this is one of those few bands I would call like almost a variety show band. There's a few bands like that. They seem to have a lot of different elements in their music and change regularly to different elements on different albums. So a lot of their albums don't really sound much alike, really. If you go to the beginning, they were primarily a hard rock band that kind of morphed a bit on the second album into a prog band. I think it's pretty proggy stuff. Third album, a little bit more hard rock again. Then you got those three albums that are my favorites, which are all very kind of variety oriented. There's a lot of different stuff going on in them. There's some prog, there's some hard rock, there's some almost classical sounding music. There's some vaudeville on a few of them. There's all kinds of different stuff. This album is a good rendition of that. It has a lot of that feel to it. Also has some anthem type music. And also with Queen, at least once they got into the fourth, fifth, and sixth albums and then moving on forward, produced a lot of radio friendly stuff and all different genres. They were never pigeonholed to one particular genre. To me, when I think of them, I don't really think of them as any genre. I mean, I guess there's a case to be made for hard rock. There's a case to be made for pop rock. There's a case to be made for even some prog rock. But I think they have a lot of all different elements to them. So I don't really think of them as a prog band. This is a band that's produced a lot of really great stuff. Some of their later stuff I wasn't as crazy about. It was a little bit too far that way for me. I preferred it more substantive, more instrumental, more complex. The ironic part for me is that I don't really like that progressive element in Queen. The early stuff, I never really got into it. To me, it kind of started with Night at the Opera, and then Day at the Races, then this one, and then so on. But those three albums pretty much dominate. I do like Sheer Heart Attack a lot. I did listen to that quite a bit lately, and I do like that one. So that one's kind of given a little bit of a resurgence to Queen for me lately. But overall, exceptionally gifted individuals, all four of them. Not afraid to step out the boundaries of what was acceptable and what wasn't. They did a lot of what I would call harmony vocals, but there was a high degree of high degree of overdubbing being done on a lot of stuff, which I think they probably made a bit of an overkill on. But overall, strong album covers, strong musicianship, strong songwriting, and a lot of proggy elements throughout their history, at least up until they started getting into the more poppy, what I would call funky kind of stuff that they were doing later on. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of my favorite 30 rock bands that had a prog influence in them. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe. If you want to make your own list, you can continue with that in the comment section below. If you have any comments about Queen or any of their albums, you're more than welcome to make your own comments. If you have any questions, you can ask those as well. So anyways, we will see you again tomorrow with another episode of my 30 favorite rock bands with a prog element or prog influence in them. So take care and have yourself a good one. Goodbye.